who was from New Jersey, went overboard about 300 miles from Bermuda.
Well, the committee tells us that weather conditions, particularly strong winds, caused 74-year-old Colin Golder to go overboard when he was about 300 miles out from Bermuda on Sunday, ultimately leading to his death. Now, today we spoke with current and former participants in this race who say that the 635-mile journey from Newport to Bermuda is no easy trek for any sailor. Nearly 200 boats are out at sea in a 635-mile race from Newport to Bermuda. But the vessel and crew on the Morgan of the Marietta will be returning to land without its captain. 74-year-old Colin Golder of New Jersey died when strong winds caused him to go overboard about 325 miles out from Bermuda, an experienced sailor who was competing in his 10th Bermuda race. A race that had plenty of turbulence and tough conditions at sea. The race committee spoke with Jim Murray, one of the sailors who arrived in Bermuda earlier today, who says the weather caused some delays from the start.
It was incredibly challenging. I think the forecast went out the window when the front moved through the starting line. They wound up actually postponing our sequence.
Murray says he and his crew weathered the storm from start to finish.
Shifty conditions on the backside of the front, and we chased that front all the way to Bermuda. So we had confused sea state. We had winds that were up and down, quite shifty. Kind of a whole mix of everything that you get, but it's a great race.
The sail to Bermuda is one of the most prestigious in the sport, with hundreds from all over the world taking part in this weekend's race. Lakeville resident Steve Robinson competed in a sail to Bermuda from Buzzards Bay a few years back. He says the journey was one of the most difficult but rewarding in his more than 40 years of sailing.
Basically on 24/7 for however long it takes for you to get from point A to point B, is that the conditions constantly change. The wind direction changes, the weather changes, the seas change, everything's always changing. And so it's really an exercise in sort of adapting to changing conditions.
And at last check, the Newport Bermuda Race Committee says that about a dozen boats have finished the race. They expect the bulk of the fleet to arrive in Bermuda later tonight. In Newport, Hector Molina, ABC 6 News.